Mazda released the CX-70 earlier this year, and everyone was excited, thinking that it was going to be a shorter version of the CX-90 and just 2 rows. But that is not what Mazda did. What Mazda did was take the CX-90, take the 3rd row out and say, boom, you have an SUV with massive cargo space. Yes, there's a lot of people out there that want a 2-row SUV with the space of a 3-row SUV. Now you have it in this. Now I had one earlier on the channel. It was the Turbo Inline 6, and this time we have the plug-in hybrid. And I'm going to tell you why this one actually might be your best option. The CX-70 has quite a few differences than the CX-90, mostly appearance, because all of this is blacked out. This was a lot of chrome on the CX-90. And going down the sides here, you can see this whole thing is a CX-90. It's no shorter, it's exactly the same. The other thing that they did was they gave it these awesome new wheels just for the CX-70. They're pretty sweet, but everything is black on here. There is no chrome that I see anywhere. Even around the window moldings, everything is all blacked out. It just looks nice. Yeah, I think it's probably the best looking one out there right now. This white and the black really looks good together, but I think what you guys want to know is what's powering this. We know it's a plug-in hybrid, but what about the engine? What about the range? Well, let's take a look at that right now. This is the Premium Plus trim line. Gets a 2.5 liter inline 4 with 189 horsepower and an electric drive motor with 173 horsepower. Combined, you get 323 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque. Now, you also get an 8-speed automatic transmission with a 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. Towing capacity is 3,500 pounds. Battery capacity is 17.8 kilowatt hours with a 14.8 usable. Rated at 26 miles, gives you an average of 1.75 miles per kilowatt hour. Fuel economy, the engine only at 25 miles per gallon and the electric at 56 miles per gallon equivalent. If you want to know the miles per gallon with the combined electric and engine, then you're going to want to watch the real world mile per gallon test that will be coming out in a couple days. Now, let's take a look at the cargo space. Now, this does have a powered liftgate. So right here, we are looking at about 40 cubic feet of space in here. Now, that is a lot of room. And of course, you can see that here are the cup holders and everything for the 3rd row. And if we lift this panel up, and we flip that back, and then we look under here, there is a dropped floor. So you got a little cargo space right there where those seats would have been. So back here, you do have power drop seats right here. You've got a little bit of power back here, the 120 volt. Got another one on this side, so that's awesome. You also have a 12 volt plug-in right there. So let's drop this 2nd row. We're gonna hit button and hit the other button, drop those down. And of course, they will not lay completely flat, but pretty close to flat. And that's gonna give you 75 cubic feet of space in here. Completely massive amount of room. It's crazy. If you guys are enjoying this video and you like this CX-70, would you do me a favor and hammer that like button and then join me on the inside? I am really excited to show you this interior because it is magnificent. Look at all of that dark red leather in here. It just looks so good. You see it here on the door panel also. Just amazing color red. I really enjoy this. So door basic, you got a door pocket down here for your bottles and everything. You got all your window and mirror controls right here, locks. But this just looks so So elegant, I think. Mazda has really stepped up their game lately and are really pushing themselves into almost a luxury type category. That's the way I feel about it. I think they are doing a great job. Now these leather seats here, they are powered with lumbar. They are pretty comfortable, although they feel a little stiff in this area right here on me. Maybe not so on others. Maybe it just has a little bit more lumbar than what I would like. I do have the lumbar, taken out as much as it will go out, but just feels a little tight right here, but not extremely bad. All right, let's get in and take a look at the rest of this. This just looks beautiful in here. Love this interior. So you've got leather all going across here, and it's got a soft backing to it, and then you have just some soft rubbery type material up here. You do get a Bose stereo system in this Premium Plus. And here's your glove box. And it is a very, very large glove box. Wow, that's got a lot of room in it. Come across here, there is your infotainment screen. We're going to come back to that, but it is a nice size. It's in a good area and very easy to see and use. All right, here is your driver's display. It is really nice, and sorry about the glare. I'm not seeing a glare. It always does this with my camera. Anyway, this is really nice. This is in EV mode, so it's kind of got this purple going across here, and right underneath the 0 mile per hour, it says EV underneath it. This on this side is your battery charge up top. Then you have your fuel underneath. You have your miles per kilowatt hour and your mile per gallon, which I love that they have both of those on there. It's really nice to see. On this other side, you have your power band. So there's a little purple mark right here, and you can see once you get past that purple mark, when you're pressed on the accelerator, it will engage the engine. As long as you stay under that, it will not. Or if you turn your cruise control on, it will automatically push the power up to that mark and stay there, and you'll pull just electric without engaging the engine. So you remember that if you turn your cruise on, then it won't engage the engine. And then underneath that, you can see where the charging is, and that's going to show you when you are pulling in some regen from braking. You also have your trip and your odometers down here at the bottom, along with the temperature. And then on this side, you have your gas miles and your electric miles. So you have both of those there. That's really nice also. Okay, there are a few things that you can change in this middle center display. We'll go through some of those right now. You go to your next one, your temperature gauges, and then there is your driver assistance, surrounding sensors, navigation, and then back to off. So that's what you can change there in the middle. Now we're going to pan back and take a look at the steering wheel. Of course, this is the same Mazda steering wheel that they use for everything else. And you have driver assistance on this side, which this does have lane centering and lane keep assist. It does work pretty well. You do have to have your hand on the steering wheel, but I believe this is a capacitive steering wheel, so all you have to do is basically lay your hand on it or touch it instead of actually having a torque feel to it. And then on this side, you have all of your voice recognition and stereo functions on over here. Down here, you do have a power liftgate, and you do have memory seating right here. We'll go ahead and move over to this center infotainment screen. Now, the cool thing about this is, well, it's not really cool. So one thing about this is it is not a touchscreen unless you are on Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Otherwise, it is only controlled by this dial back here. But the thing is that this dial is so easy to use and get used to that I almost prefer it over other systems and the touchscreens. It's pretty crazy. It's really nice, and it works really, really well. So we're going to go up here, and you see that this says information. Up here in the information is not what you would expect. When you click information on there, this gives you your drive efficiency monitoring. So we can click on that, and that's going to tell you when the car is using what. So right now we're running off the battery because we are just sitting here. If we press it down again, then we can go up to our fuel and energy efficiency. So you've got miles per gallon, miles per kilowatt hour, both on there during this current drive. And then you can go down to average and over the history of the car. So you've got a few different ones down across here. Press it down again. We can go to the energy flow monitor, which is what we were on just a minute ago. And then there are a few settings that you can turn on. So if you reset the trip A on this, then it will automatically reset your mile per gallon and your miles per kilowatt hour. I just want to show you that because a lot of people don't realize that that is even there. Okay, so now we go to communication. That's where you're going to do your set up your phone and all of that, which mine is set up. I just don't have it in the car so that it doesn't cause any problems. And then we go to navigation. I believe they have a package that you have to purchase with the car or something like that. But you might check on that. This one, it does have it, but I think previously I did not have navigation in the Inline 6 turbo one. And then we'll go down to settings, go into settings, and this is where your EV settings are. So you can do your charging schedule, climate control timer, you can set your charge limit, and you can set it, make sure that it locks whenever it's charging and unlocks when it's done, or you can set it up to lock whenever it's plugged in and you have to unlock the car to unlock the charger. Regenerative braking level, you can set that to high, I believe it's high or normal. EV priority mode, that basically means it's going to start up in EV mode and you will drive in EV mode first before it engages the engine. And then you can do a drive charge target. So once it depletes and it switches over to the engine, you have a button right down here that says charge. When you hit that charge button, it will begin to charge the battery while you are driving. And then you can set this to a limit, so as low as 60%. Actually, you can set it all the way down to 20%. Once it reaches 20%, then it will kick back over to electric and drive in electric again. So it's a pretty nice feature. Other than that, it will drive in a normal mild hybrid system features. Your vehicle displays, you can make adjustments to those in here. This does have a heads-up display, and let's see if we can get a picture of it. I will try to zoom in, make it sure that's a little bit better, but it is really, really good. It is very bright and vibrant, and you can read it really clearly. Your sound settings for your Bose system, safety settings, your vehicle settings. We go into that one, and you have paddle shifters on here, just in case you didn't know that. And you set up your doors, your exterior lighting, interior lighting, rain sensing wipers, folding mirrors, turn signals. And with the turn signals, you can adjust the sound, how loud it is, which is pretty interesting. It's on low now, but I still think it's pretty high. I would like to turn it down even lower. Rear defogger, so that just, once you turn it on, it'll automatically shut off. Occupant comfort, so you can set this up, and everybody, the heated steering wheel will come on, the driver's seat temperature and the passenger seat temperatures will automatically adjust for either heat or ventilation, whatever you need, and your rear seat alert. So that's it. Your connectivity settings, Alexa is on here also, and no, I don't need anything, Alexa. Cancel. Yeah, she lit right up as soon as I said her name. All right, system settings, and that's just going to be your general time, language, all of that type of thing. All right, let's go down here, and you do have climate controls all across here. So you do have auto on here, and you do have your sync button on this side. You do have a heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats, and this also has heated seats in the rear. And then you can also control the rear up here. So you turn the rear on and you can set the temperature for it from up here, which is nice to be able to do. All right, we're going to go down here, and here is a wireless phone charger and a 12-volt plug, which is, I guess it's okay to have one. I don't understand why there's not USB plugs up here. That would be nice. Here is your MI drive, and that is going to be your drive mode. So we're going to flip through those. You have sport, which shows red. Everything turns red. Normal, which I believe is now purple or blue. And then you go to EV is purple, and then you go to off-road, and the off-road will automatically engage the engine. All right, so we talked about this button is your charge button. So once your battery depletes, you can press that button and it will begin charging the battery back up as you drive. You do have hill descent control. Coming on back, you do have an electronic parking brake and you have auto hold. Over here is your stereo volume and your favorites button, and you can push this left or right to adjust for your stereo, which is nice. Also, here is that dial, and it works really well. You can turn it, you can push it down to click on things, works really well. Navigation, your back button, music, and a home button on here. All right, that's all of that. Now let's take a look at this center armrest. Now it is a really comfortable center armrest. I really do like it, and it's a split design, so you can click, open, and you don't have to open both sides at the same time. So you can see down in here, it's not very deep. I just got a few things in here and it's almost full, but it's very useful and I like it. And this is where you have your USB. So you have two USB-C plugs in here. This also did come with a dual panel sunroof or moonroof, whichever you would want to call that. That is the beautiful and gorgeous interior in the front. I'm going to now go in the back and see how the room and the space is back there and what kind of things are back there for your passengers. Let's see some more of this beautiful interior back here, because this is awesome. And look at that door. That door is basically 90 degrees open. That is easy entry in here and easy to get your kids in and out. Driver's seat is in my driving position. I am in here, and yeah, we've got probably about 2 inches, I would say, of knee space here without any issues. Plus, I can recline the seats, which is nice, make it easy and very comfortable to be back here. This is good. My headroom, yeah, about another 2 inches above my head. Wow. Really spacious. These seats are super comfortable. And gosh, this interior is beautiful. Wow. Okay, so let's take a look at what else is going on back here. You can see how beautiful this is, because that red with the black and the red stitching in the door panel, this looks awesome. All right, here we go. Let's get in here. Here in the center console, you have your own heated seats back here. You have all your own ventilation controls back here, plus 2 USB-C ports. And then on the windows, you do have the sunshades back here, even though they are tinted, just give you a little bit more protection. You do have mat pockets in the back that are pretty good. And you do have a center armrest right here with 2 cup holders. That's good. Good height on it. The big question here is, how much does this cost? You lost the 3rd row out of the CX-90, and now we have the CX-70. Did you save any money? How much money did we save by removing the 3rd row? Now you can see how much space was back there. It was a huge amount of space back there, and I know people are just going to love that amount of space. But what is the price tag on that space? All right, pricing on the plug-in hybrid CX-70. Now you're going to start out with the premium, and it's going to come in at $54,400. Going up to the premium plus, that's going to start you at $57,450. Just in case you thought you were going to save some money by buying this instead of the CX-90, well, the CX-90 with Premium Plus, it's only $500 more than the CX-70. All right, and then as tested with all the options and the destination fee on this one, it's going to come in at $59,420. Now, let's have a little fun and take this for a drive. Whew. Yeah, this thing is a lot of fun to drive. All right, we're gonna hop right on out here. We're gonna get us a 0 to 60 here. Just 1 second. All right, here we go. We're gonna pop out here. We are in sport mode. Okay. Supposed to be 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, so here we go. Brake torque. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. There's 60. It feels good. It sounds really, really good. It sounds real healthy. The only problem that we have noticed is when you're driving at a low, slow rate of speed. And it feels really mechanical and kind of clunky. Like it's not sure it's wanting to move around. So what I think the problem is instead of putting the electric drive motor on the rear wheels and having it as a drive motor, they actually wedge the motor in between the engine and the transmission. So it is driving the transmission, which is then pushing the power to the wheels. And I think that is causing this whole mechanical feel whenever you're driving around, especially in EV mode. It's like you press on it and you don't have the instant that you think you're supposed to have, that instant power and the smoothness. It feels like it's, kind of driving around. But it only does that at a low rate of speed. Every other time when I'm cruising on electric or whatever and you give it gas, it just goes nice and smooth without any problem. It's just at that low rate of speed. Basically, around 10 miles per hour, up to about 10 miles per hour, maybe 15 at the most. You kind of feel that. And then when you press on the brakes, it is a really sharp grab at that low speed. At higher speed, it is perfectly fine. The regen braking works really, really well, and they blend that regen braking together very, very well. Driving this, though, is a joy. I feel like I'm in a higher class SUV than what Mazda traditionally has put out. Mazda's always had good quality cars at a cheaper price, and where the cheapness of the price came in was in your interior. Well, it's not like that anymore. The interior on these are spectacular, and I've been raving about the interior on this one just because of the color combination. I just think it's nailed it. I mean, they just nailed this color combination. Ride comfort is really good. Car's nice and smooth. I haven't had any problems. These are kind of rough roads around here, and it does a real good job just soaking them up. I was pretty comfortable in our real world mile per gallon test drive, which is about 2.5 hours, and I was really comfortable in these seats. I said they feel a little stiff. At first I thought maybe it was the lumbar. I kind of mentioned about the lumbar might be sticking out a little bit too far, but it's not really so much the lumbar, I don't think. Now that I'm sitting in here again, I kind of just feel that the seats are just a little stiff. They'll probably wear in a little bit more as we go. This does have about almost 6,000 miles on it. But I bet if you get into it about 10, 15,000 miles or so, these seats will really suck you in and make you feel great in here. Driver assistance works really good. Lane centering, lane keep assist, all worked really well without any problems there. Go full out on this CX-70. You are going to love it. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Consider subscribing so you don't miss any more of these. Then click the video that's up on the screen. One of them I put up there for you. The other one YouTube chose for you. And I think you're going to like them both. So have a blessed day, and I will see you in that next video.